Welcome, my ding dong lifestylers. All right, so this question came up on a forum recently about pollination of cacao flowers and bats, actually. So, this is one of my cacao. This is the smaller of the two. And there's kind of a mental floss, mind virus style post that's going around these days about cacao and how cacao gets pollinated. And what I was looking to do was to come out here and hopefully find some cacao flowers on this tree in particular, because this is one of two cacaos that I have in the yard. And I recently figured out that they are most likely self-infertile. And although I've had this cacao here that you can see that's about, probably 6-7 feet tall at this point. I've had this cacao now for a couple of years. It's doing excellently. And I have tried to manually pollinate it, but I have not yet been successful in manual pollination. And so here we're taking a look at its flowers, and you notice that they're coming out right just above. Let's see if we can get this to focus. Might have to come back a bit. Yeah, so this is what an inflorescence looks like. One more try. This is going to be tough. This is a real small thing that we're trying to take a picture of here. So these are cacao inflorescence, and you can see that we're getting 2 to 3 to 4 just utterly tiny flowers per inflorescence, and that they're occurring at the meristem just above where the leaf petiole has broken off. So we'll see if we can find some that are open, and we'll get a look at just how diminutive these flowers actually are. And this is a good example of what a dry flower that potentially failed to pollinate looks like. I mean, these things are real tiny. This is the flower parts here are, maybe that flower is a grand total of a ½ centimeter across, 5 millimeters. And then here we've got another one up here that is in flower and looking to be pollinated. And I just want you to notice how just utterly small this flower is. Those are very tiny ants crawling across the stem. And so we'll go ahead and break this one off. And, that all being said, I've been trying to grow these cacao now for a couple of years, and I've never successfully gotten we dropped it. Never gotten a pollination event. I have tried manually pollinating, but no luck so far. And so here, when we get a better look into the inside of the flower, we can see that it's 5 flower parts arranged, alternating. We've got two styles. I think those are styles. And then we've got what look like almost pollinia popping out of these kind of guarded anther areas. And so I actually think that might be these red filaments may not actually be, out of frame. They may not actually be anthers. I thought they were anthers originally when I started looking at this flower, but they may actually be there to guard the stigma, which I think is down there at the center. And so my thinking on pollination here is that this yellow packet of pollen has to get from there over here to the actual stigma, which I think is down there. So yeah, that's your cacao flower. That's kind of the anatomy part of it. But if you look, it's flowering all up the stem and then up into the plant here, and you can see flowers going all the way across up the top. And I had really hoped to come out today and maybe find, both of my cacao flowering, but it looks like it's still only this one. Maybe the other one's not mature enough yet to flower. I'm not sure, but I've had this growing now for several years, and I've never gotten cacao off of it, so it's it's manual pollination or nothing. And the question of bat pollination came up, so addressing that directly, yeah, there's just no way a bat's going to come into these flowers for a nectar reward when, you know, if it even tried to get in there and get anything out of that, it would just smash the flower completely. There's just not enough flower there to make it happen, I think. They are a really pretty flower, if incredibly tiny. And just for reference, those ants going across the top are probably 1.5 millimeters. So very, very small flowers. Definitely not bat pollinated. Potentially bee pollinated, but even then, a bee's gonna struggle with that. So there it is. There's your tropical ding dong update. I'm gonna post it on the channel. Just a quick one today, but we'll talk soon, and I'll do a more complete garden and farm tour later. Have a good one, ding dongers. Later.